With just about 92 days to go before the start of the T20 Cricket World Cup, many players are finalizing their squad in their mind. Many persons would have an idea of those players that they want to see in the squad. This morning, I am not here to pick a squad. And please, while I encourage and welcome your interaction, please do not give me your squad as yet. There'll be time for that. It's about looking at those players who are the maybes, who are the perhaps, who are on the fringe. Those players who there are a lot of debates about whether they should be included in the squad or not. Those are the players that I'll be taking a look at this morning. And while I take a look at those players, I encourage you to tell me whether you would have them in your squad or not. I am not naming a squad this morning, and please, I'm asking for your interaction, but please do not name your squad. Just tell me whether you believe these players should be in the squad or not. So for each player, you could write in beside their name or you could write out. I am coming to those players in a little bit. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the show. I really appreciate your company, and without you, this community would not have been possible. I thank you very much. Welcome to the show. Please slash a like on the video and click on the subscribe button. Before I look at those players who I believe are on the fringe of selection or who may not make the team to the T20 World Cup, that, of course, will be hosted in the Caribbean. Just the matter in this broadcast, I would just like to remind you that starting on Monday in St. Kitts at Warner Park, the Canary Cricket Ground, and the St. Paul Sports Complex, the West Indies Women 50 over tournament will begin. It will begin with one match at each of these venues. 6 teams in the tournament. You know them: Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, Guyana, the Leeward Islands, and the Windward Islands. There will be 3 matches playing. The squads have come out. Most of us will not know the players in these squads, but I will just look at a few of the players in each of the squad. In the Barbados squad, which will be missing Ailey Matthews. As you know, Ailey Matthews is in India, taking part in the Women Premier League, where I think she's playing for the Mumbai Indians. So the Barbados squad this year will be captained by Casey Knight. It will also include her sister, Kishona Knight, along with Alia Alain, Shamila Connell, Trishan Older, and the head coach will be Sherwin Campbell. Those are the persons who are expected to be the leading lights in the Barbados team as they play in this year's Women West Indies Cricket Tournament. It's a 50 over games. After the end of the 50 over tournament, there'll be 5 matches. Each team play each one time. After the 50 over tournament have been completed, then the T20 Blaze will start immediately after the 50 over tournament. So the tournament will run from the 4th of March until the 25th of March. All matches will be played in St. Kitts. When you look at the Guyana team, you will see that it will be captained by Sherman Campbell. And she will also have in her team Shabika Gajnabi, Shanetta Griman, Ashmin Munasar. As you know, she was a captain of the West Indies under-19 team at the World Cup. Sherian Fraser, Kecia Schultz, that's Sherian Fraser, Kecia Schultz, who was playing cricket in Trinidad. I think she was playing with the male. She was playing male cricket in Trinidad. And the head coach will be Clive Grimmon. Now, I don't know if it is coincidence or it is nepotism, but there's 3 Grimmon in this Guyana team. 3 Grimmon. I don't know if they merit their place or it is just strictly nepotism. Stephen Taylor will lead the Jamaican team, and she will have Rashada Williams, another West Indies player, Natasha McLean, who in my opinion is the best wicket-keeper batswoman in the Caribbean. And if she's not selected for the next West Indies cricket team, I personally is going to ask for the resignation of Han Brown. Nothing against Han Brown, but Natasha McLean is too good of a player to be left out of a West Indies squad. If she's to be punished, punish her. But you cannot leave her out of a West Indies team. There's some rumors in the air that Natasha McLean in last year's tournament, she had done something that was not really pleasing. That's the allegation. That's the rumor. So I'm saying that if the young lady had done something that Cricket West Indies doesn't find that it is conforming with their rules, what Cricket West Indies should do is to charge her, try her, suspend her, or clear her. But you cannot have the young lady just out in the open like that, not taking any actions and not selecting her. Because clearly, Natasha McLean is one of our best batswomen in the Caribbean, and she should be in the West Indies team. Just check her record. The veteran Shady Nation returned to the Jamaican team, and along with Kate Wilmot. Kate Wilmot have made a number of appearances on this show. She's a right-arm fast bowler out of Westmoreland, and she was also a member of the training squad of the West Indies under-19 team. I've heard a lot about Celine White, and I look forward to see what she can do. The Leeward Islands Hurricanes squad will be captained by Amanda Edwards. Jazari Claxton is the only person that I know in that team. I think she bowled right-arm off-spin. The head coach will be Percy Daniel. And the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force Divas will be led by Brittany Cooper. Also, it will have Krishna Ramarak, the Shamar Joseph, Shunel Shaw, who's an outstanding young batswoman. She's probably about 17, 18, thereabout, probably even 16. But she's elegant, she's class, she's classical. She will remind you of someone like Lawrence Rowe or Carl Hooper. She's that type of classical batswoman. The head coach will be Gibad Mohammed. And finally, the Windward Islands team. And this team will see Afli Fletcher, the leg spinner, leading the team. And she will have Zadia James, Queena Joseph, Janella Glasgow, the fast bowler, Narissa Crafton, and the head coach will be Petra Lynch. So there are the 6 teams that will be playing this year in our regional one-day and T20 blaze for the ladies. It starts on Monday in St. Kitts. Please go out and support the team. Now, there have been lots of rumors going on about the sales of tickets in the World Cup. I must remind you though, while I have no evidence one way or the other, I am very guarded because what I know in these sports, once Australia, England, or India is not hosting the events, it seems like no one else can host these events properly. That's the kind of narrative that is tried to put forward by these bigger nations. It appears to me that these 3 bigger nations, the persons, the citizens, and supporters of cricket in these 3 bigger nations are always finding a fault whenever South Africa or the West Indies or one of the lesser nations is hosting a tournament. There's always so many faults to be found. Now, I do not know if these allegations are true or not. But as I said, I am very, very guarded to say the rumors that I'm hearing about the ticket sales are true. I do not know if they are so. People are just spreading rumor. And until I have evidence to sway one way or the other, I will still have my faith in Cricket West Indies and the ICC that they are doing a good job. Now, the West Indies have won 9 of their last 16 T20 international matches. They have won 3 of their last 4 T20 international series. That tells me it's a team that is fairly consistent, and during this time, they would have some very consistent performers. It is more or less, therefore, a very stable team, and a number of spots on the World Cup team would have been taken already. But there are a few spots that I think are up for grab. And some of the players that were in Australia may or may not be in the World Cup squad when it is announced. Now, these fringe players, these perhaps players, we look at the squad that West Indies sent to Australia, and it is listed as 6 batsmen, 5 all-rounders, and 4 bowlers. I would want to make an adjustment and say 7 batsmen, because among the all-rounders was Kyle Myers. And Kyle Myers cannot make the West Indies team as a bowler in T20 cricket. Maybe in Test cricket, but not in T20 cricket. And if it's not for his runs, he would not be in the West Indies team. And some would say lack of runs, therefore he should not be there. So I would adjust it to 7 batsmen and 3 all-rounders, because in the same way Jason Holder is listed as an all-rounder, I do not see Jason Holder as an all-rounder. An all-rounder for me is someone, and listen to me clearly now, your batting average has to be higher than your bowling average for me to consider you an all-rounder. So Jason Holder batting average is 16. His bowling average is 28. Therefore, for me, Jason Holder is just a bowler who can hit away a few balls. So in adjusting the squad that was in Australia, I would say 7 batsmen, 3 all-rounders, and 5 bowlers. Now, from those 7 batsmen that were in Australia, I look at Shai Hope. I think that he's one of the fringe players. Last year, July, August, I told you all that Shai Hope will be a revelation at the Caribbean Premier League. And he did. He ended the Caribbean Premier League as the leading run scorer, scoring over 481 runs. His highest score being 106, with an average of 53.44 and a strike rate of 140. That was tremendous from Shai Hope. He duly won his place in the West Indies team, and he played against India. And he performed fairly well against India and also against England. He never played the first match against India, but he played 2 matches against India where he performed fairly well. He also played all 5 matches against England where he performed also fairly well. His strike rate was not all that high, but he contributed with the bat. His international strike rate after playing 28 matches for the West Indies is still just 125. He averages 21.2 in T20 cricket, in T20 international cricket for the West Indies. His last 2 innings, he looks a chamber of himself in Australia, scoring on the 16 and ducks, and was dropped for the final match. Now, will Shai Hope be in the T20 squad for the World Cup is left to be seen. Tell me, what is your decision? Is Shai Hope in or is he out? Now he's going to be playing in the IPL. And if he has an IPL resembling anything that he does in the CPL, he will be a standout cricketer. And we expect that he will be in the squad. So tell me, is Shai Hope in or is he out? Shafrain Rutherford, who have played 12 T20 international for the West Indies, an average of 23.55 with a strike rate of 153.62. That have him at 176, 177, which is commendable. However, before his 67 from 40 deliveries in that final match against Australia, many of you in the chat believe that he should have been dropped from the team. However, after scoring 20 runs off his first 20 deliveries, he proceeded to score 47 runs off the next 20 deliveries, along with Andre Russell, to carry West Indies over the 200 runs mark for the third time in the series. Yesterday, Shamar Rutherford showed his class by winning a match for the Quetta Gladiators at the PSL. He took 18 out of the last over to win that match. Is Shamar Rutherford in your World Cup squad or not? The next player that I have to look at is Kyle Mayers. Kyle Mayers, he played 34 T20 international for the West Indies, averaging 19.53 with a strike rate of 137.96, almost 138. In Kyle Mayers' last 10 innings for the West Indies as a T20 batsman, he has passed 25 only once in his last 10 innings. His last 2 innings was 0, 12, and 13. Is it 13 or 11? It's one of the two. I think it's 13 that he made against Australia. Kyle Mayers, is he in your team? Mark you, Kyle Mayers have never gotten a wicket yet. Never. Playing for the West Indies in T20 international. Will Kyle Mayers be in your team for the World Cup? Now, another player who is on the fringe is Shamar Joseph. Shamar Joseph have flattered to deceive. In Shamar Joseph last 10 innings for the West Indies, he too have passed 25 only once. That 6-1 against India, I think it was against, was it India or England? But that 6-1 was the last time that Shamar Joseph have passed 25 in his last 10 innings. He was duly dropped against India. He was duly dropped. And since then, he have not returned to the West Indies T20 setup. After 57 match, averaging 20.5 with a strike rate of 118 in international T20 cricket. That statistics, Shamar Joseph could not make any of the top 20 teams in the world that is playing international T20 cricket. It is very low. And someone who is considered highly talented, it is perceived by many that Shamar Joseph can win you matches. We have seen it in the IPL, but we have not seen it anywhere else. If Shamar Joseph should have a good IPL this year, he will be pushing for a place in the T20 World Cup squad. It is left to be seen what he does at the T20 World Cup. The other two names that I've heard mentioned is Evan Lewis and Andre Fletcher. Andre Fletcher, who is doing well on the T20 international circuit. Mark you, the leagues that Andre Fletcher are playing in, I would consider them the B leagues. And although he's performing well, I would want to see him perform in the A leagues. And I've not seen him done that except for the CPL. I've not seen him playing in the BBL. I've not seen him playing in the IPL or the PSL. He plays at the second tier leagues to me and done well. So I do not think that Andre Fletcher should be in. But you tell me, should Andre Fletcher be in or should he be out? The next player, Evan Lewis. Evan Lewis, of all West Indies current batsmen, of all, the current batsmen who are still playing cricket, Evan Lewis' records stood out as a beacon among them all. He is our best performing T20 international batsman. He recently played in the Bangladesh Premier League and he never done so well either. Should Evan Lewis, based on his performances in previous year, and based on the fact that he is our leading T20 batsman, should he be in that T20 squad for the World Cup? Of all those 6 names that I've given you, only 3 will be in the squad. Which 3 will be there? It won't be 4 of them. It won't be 5. It won't be 6. Only 3 of those 6 will be in the World Cup squad. I can tell you that. Now, when I look at the bowlers, first, I look at Jason Holder. And Jason Holder, after being dropped, not selected for the T20 World Cup in 2021, and with all due respect, the Honorable Prime Minister of Barbados, I think her name is Maya Mottley, and with all due respect to her, and I'm not saying anything discriminatory against the Honorable Prime Minister, it appears to me that she used her influence, and nothing wrong with using your influence. If you have influence in life, you should use it when you deem necessary to use it. Don't let anyone diminish you using your influence when you should do so. So Mayor Mottley, the Honorable Prime Minister of Barbados, with all due respect, used her influence to get Jason Holder in the T20 World Cup squad in 2021. From then, Jason Holder have not been dropped from the T20 squad. I don't know how much of an influence that comment by the Honorable Prime Minister still has on the selector, especially the head selector, who is also from her country. After 63 matches for the West Indies, Jason Holder averages 28.87 with the ball, not with the bat. His average with the bat is a disappointing 16. So I would not even look at it. His average with the ball is 28.87, very high. His economy is 8.57, not bad. It's on the high side, but not bad. His strike rate of 20.1 is also not bad. However, those statistics lends itself mainly to several years ago. In recent times, we have seen in the last 5 matches that Jason Holder have played, his last 6 matches, his economy 13, 13.75, 6.85. That was the only one that is recommendable. 12.33, 10.5, and 12.55. I agree that he have made some runs in recent time at the back end of the innings. But this West Indies attack, this West Indies batting lineup is so stacked with all-rounder. So is Jason Holder in or is Jason Holder out? The other player that we should look at is Oshane Thomas. I believe that not even Oshane Thomas' closest allies believe that he will be in the T20 World Cup squad. I do not think that Oshane Thomas himself, while he will probably be open that he's in the squad, I do not see him in the squad. Obed McCoy. We have seen where Obed McCoy have been playing 31 matches for the West Indies with an average of 21.36, an economy of 8.46, and with a strike rate of 15.1, making him the best West Indies bowler when it comes to strike rate. His economy of 8.46 is not bad either. His best bowling of 6 for 17 against India in St. Lucia still remained one of the best bowling performances by a West Indies bowler in T20 international cricket. Despite Obed McCoy going for 16 runs and 10.66 in his last 2 T20 internationals, if you look at Obed McCoy, for the last 10 T20 internationals, it is only once that he have conceded more than 8 runs per innings, except for these 2. So of the last 10 T20 internationals, he have been conceding like 6.5, 7.2, even 5.7 in one. In the Bangladesh Premier League that is going on, and he's now playing in the finals, he have gotten 12 wickets so far at an average of 21.75 with an economy of 8.15. We saw playing for the Pearl Royals in the SA20, Obed McCoy was the go-to bowler. Although only getting 9 wickets at 36, he was getting a wicket every 20 deliveries or so. He played in all 10 matches, and he was the adept bowler. Should Obed McCoy be in the West Indies World Cup squad or not? Finally, we comes to Shamar Joseph. There's nothing to write home about when it comes to Shamar Joseph in T20 cricket. He played one match for the Guyana Amazon Warriors in last year's Caribbean Premier League. Was it 1 or 2? I don't quite remember, but it was at least 1. He didn't perform that well. In fact, his performance was poor. He tried to bowl too fast and he sprayed the ball all over the place. What we have seen from Shamar Joseph, though, is that he's a genuine wicket taker. And I always believe that in T20 international cricket, you must play your leading wicket taker and your best batsman. I always believe that. You need persons to get you wicket. I believe that Shamar Joseph should play in the 4th round of the regional 4-day tournament before going on to the IPL, where he should be representing the Lucknow Supergiant. Shimron Etmire is training with the Rajasthan Royal at this time. However, I don't think Shamar Joseph should be heading to India quite yet. I would love to see him play in at least one match for Guyana before he goes to India. But then I am not his management. But Shamar Joseph has shown to us that he's a genuine wicket taker. So should he be in your World Cup team or should he be out? Of Jason Holder, Shamar Joseph, and Obed McCoy, only 2 will be in the World Cup squad. All 3 will not be there. Which 2 will it be? Jason Holder, Obed McCoy, and Shamar Joseph. I have ruled out O'Shane Thomas. He has not done so well in the Bangladesh Premier League, and he has no IPL contract. So he will not have an opportunity to convince us otherwise. The conclusion of the PSL and the IPL will be very, very important to determine which 2 of these 3 bowlers make that West Indies World Cup squad. It will determine which 3 of Hope, Rutherford, Mayers, or Etmire makes the World Cup squad. All 4 of them will not be in it, but it will be 3 of those 4. Rutherford, Hope, Mayers, Etmire. It is left to be seen what the West Indies selectors will do. But I thank you for being here. I thank you for joining me. I will now take your comments to hear what you are saying. So let's go to your comments. Good morning. Happy, very happy that you are here. Glenn Campbell is saying that Bangladesh is Kyle Myers' dog pond. He doesn't seem to operate as consistent when he's out of his pond. Good morning, Merrick. How are you? Welcome to the show. Athena, good morning. Nice that you are here. Here's hoping that Mayers will make the World Cup in the West Indies. HIS Pond. That's Glenn Campbell. Mr. Casanova is saying that Mayers will be home watching the World Cup. Glenn Campbell again is saying that glad to see how Rutherford has transformed into an irresistible match winner. Some West Indies players asserting themselves while the pressure mounting on others. Fair comment there. If you are watching that PSL match yesterday that Sherfane Rutherford won. He played the ball to backward point. The fielder make a brilliant effort and stop the ball from going to the boundary. And Sherfane Rutherford ran two. He and Akil Hussein was batting, and he ran two. So there was Sherfane Rutherford playing a ball to backward point. The fielder dived away to his left, stopped it, and Rutherford saw the misfield, ran two to a ball at backward point, and he dived in his crease. The thing is, though, I have never seen him done this for the West Indies, and I'm wondering to myself, why is he not doing those things when he's playing for the West Indies? It was great intensity from Sherfane Rutherford, and we hope to see more of that from him. Keith Aaron, how are you, Keith Aaron? Good to see you. Mr. Forum, enjoying your program. Without you, West Indies cricket is dormant. Thank you for such confidence in me, Keith Aaron. Thank you for supporting me. Keeping the chalice. Oh, okay, so you're keeping the chalice burning. Cool, cool. Got you. Oh, Keith Aaron, I got you. At first, I thought you were burning a chalice, but now you are. It's a matter of figure of speech that you are using. I got you, Keith Aaron. Let's toast one for the road. Lift your favorite glass. I don't have it with me this morning, but the next show I will have it, Keith Aaron. Thank you, Andrew Iris. I appreciate it. Good morning. Good morning. South Africa have 61. Australia have, okay, so those are 61 million and so on. Looking forward to seeing Chanel Shaw and Zadia James. Outstanding. Athena, me too. I'm really looking, especially Sunil Shaw. I'm really looking forward to see her. She's my favorite batswoman. She's just so clean. She drove the ball so easily through the covers. What a beauty to behold. And all-rounder is Ben Stokes, not older. I agree with you, Mr. Casanova. Good morning, SO. Sherwin is saying Shea Hope should not play T20 cricket. So that means Shea Hope is out. 125 strike rate is poor. Shea Hope should not play Test cricket either, SO. He averages 25.05 after 36 matches. He should not play either. I will play Shea Hope with Sunil Ambrose in the T20 squad. Okay, that's your pick, Sunil Ambrose. Not many persons will agree with you though, Sherwin. Hope is in for me. Thank you, Mr. Casanova. So Mr. Casanova think that Hope will be in. Arjun Sharma is saying, everybody knows that Australia, England, or New Zealand will win World Cup. No, I do not agree with you, Sharma. I think West Indies playing at home has a genuine chance, probably as good as anyone else, to win this World Cup. This West Indies team will be very, very hard to beat in this World Cup. I am telling you, it will be a hard team to beat. Hope is a good player, especially at home. He should be in the squad. So it's nice to see different opinions coming through. And Sherwin is saying that Hope should play ODI, not Test. Agree with you, Sherwin. Agree with you 100% there. Jamaica needs King in the regional 4-day. That's a good point, although that is off agenda right now, Arjuna. But let's hope that he plays. Etty needs to just get informed. The IPL will provide him an opportunity to get informed. And it really depends on what Edmire does in the IPL. Rutherford will also be in the IPL. Mayers will be at the IPL. Shea Hope will be at the IPL. The advantage that Edmire has over all these other three players is that he's going to play the first match for the Rajasthan Royals. I am not sure that Shea Hope will get in the Delhi team I think he's playing for, or Myers will play for the LSG, or Rutherford will play in the first match. Edmire has that advantage over the other three, and hopefully let's see what he does with that advantage. For as we may recall, he fell off towards the back end of last year IPL. His form was not so good towards the back end. But I think the Rajasthan Royals, they are going to pick him for the first match. And by the way, Oh, I'm not going off topic. I was going to say something that was off topic, but I have to keep the discipline. Hetmeyer is in the same boat like Mayers right now, and even older should not be in the team for a World Cup. Thank you very much, Mr. Casanova. I appreciate that. I appreciate those comments. So you're saying that Hetmeyer and Myers right now and even older should not be in the World Cup. So you will not have any of those three. Many persons will not have them too, Mr. Casanova. Food for thought. Selection is based on three ideology: sure pick, good, and wow picks. The issue is what percentage of the squad is awarded to each pick. Australia Sports Academy fully support this. I do not have an issue with that because that's how I pick my team too. Sure pick, good for now, and wow. That's how I pick my team too. And you realize that what I'm actually saying, the rest of the players who are in that squad to Australia, who I have not named this morning, in my opinion, they are sure pick for the World Cup squad. And it's only these. So, in my opinion, there are 10 sure picks for the World Cup squad, but there are 5 spaces left to be filled. 3 by the batsmen and 2 by the bowlers. Who are those 3 batsmen? Who are those 2 bowlers? Sherwin think that Lewis and Hetmeyer should be added. Sherwin think that Brandon King should not play T20. Then who should? If Brandon King should not play T20 international for the West Indies, that will also rule out Nicholas Pooran. It will also rule out Rovman Powell. The only 2 that would be included would be Shepherd and Russell. If Brandon King should not play T20 cricket for the West Indies, the only 2 that should play should be Shepherd and Russell. Those are my opinions. Those are my views. You have to look if Hetmeyer have a good IPL. Yes, that's what I said. His performance in the IPL will go a far way in determining whether he would be in the World Cup squad. And that is why he is on the fringe. That is why he's one of the perhaps. That is why he's one of the maybe. Because it will all depend on what he does at the IPL. Fletcher should be in. Elvis Lewis should be in based on performance. So there we have it. And that is what makes this community so dynamic, because there are always different opinions, always different views. John P. Nicol, good morning to you, sir. I'm really appreciate to see you here. Kyle Myers is in my team, but not as an opener. Evan Lewis should be in the squad. Thank you very much, John P. Nicol, for giving your opinions. We really appreciate it. Jason Holder can't be on the team as a bowler. Just can't. So Tropic, he cannot be as a batsman because his average is only 16. So if he can't be on the team, I think you mean that he is out. Now, Jamor Small is saying that, good morning, sir. Good morning to you. Sherwin is saying that Shamar in. Ahmad Amor is saying that Shamar will be in. Well, it's left to be seen how he performs in the IPL. And so John P. Nicol is saying, in my squad, Older, McCoy, Shamar, Joseph. Older, McCoy, Shamar, Joseph. So John P. Nicholas Older. That's the beauty of it, as I always said. Different opinions, different viewpoints, different ways at how we look at things. And that is why this community is so dynamic, because we can always voice our different opinion. And we do not beat down each other's opinion here. We do not say that our opinions are right. We do not say that your opinions are wrong. We just share opinions and accept each other's opinion and argue the points. Not the personality, but the points. Brian H. I like having a left-hander in there to provide a different look to the batsman. Very good point, Brian H. And that is one of the reasons. That is the main reasons why that would probably tilt the balance in Obed McCoy's favor. There's no left-hander in this team. It is going to be very interesting to see which 2 of those 3 are in the squad. But I'm telling you, Older, Shamar Joseph, and Obed McCoy, it's only 2 of those 3 that are going to be in the squad. Yeah, Ed Meyer will not be selected, Ahmad Moore. What if he has a stellar, an absolute stellar IPL? Christian, how are you doing? I have not seen Joseph in PSL. He's still in Guyana. I heard that he'll be playing a Corrigoat match this weekend in honor of Bess. Was it Bess? But the former spinner. And Sammy St. Ellen, a fit Obed should be a sure pick. So different viewpoints. So Mayers is putting in the work right at this very moment. Well, he's playing in the final of the BPL, so it sounds like he's making some runs, Brian H. Good to see. Good afternoon. Just tune in. It would just listen to the comments. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you, Philip Kane. It's a good while I've not seen you, but I'm glad to have you here. When World Cup starts, it starts on the 1st of June with a match between India, England. My apology. It starts on the 1st of June with a match between the USA and Canada. May I remind you that the very first international cricket match that was ever played was played between Canada and the USA. So it is very good to see that Canada and the USA will be kicking off the very first World Cup to be held in the USA. Well done to the organizers. Good morning. Shafrain Rutherford has to be there. Kemar Berry. Well, okay, thank you for your opinion. We appreciate it. Myers out on 46 with his team and the cups of winning. Okay, well done to Kyle Myers. How did Obed McCoy did? He was playing in that match also. The West Indies selectors put a good combination for the World Cup. Ainsworth Irish, I do hope so too. Please tell us your sure pick. Ahmad Noor. No, man, that is for another time, Ahmad Noor. Good try. Very good try, Ahmad Noor. But that is for when I'm picking the squad. And it is not too far from now. It is just about probably a month and a half from now. Because while the squad will have to be picked before the IPL is finished. Because 1 week after the IPL finish, then the World Cup will start. So somewhere during the IPL, I will pick my squad. But for now, please go out and support the women in St. Kitts. The tournament starts on Monday. 1 day, 1 match every other day for 5 days. They need your support. Please support the team. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great afternoon and may God bless you and your family. Take care now. One love. Bob Marley from Jamaica.